everyone, this is Sarah, also known as Witchling Simmer, and I am here today with another speed build video. So today we are building a 4x4 house in Oasis Springs, and I'm really excited to do this because I have bulldozed every lot in Oasis Springs to be able to rebuild the entire thing and hopefully be able to start a rotational save in this with all of my own created sims in this awesome desert neighborhood that I'm gonna make sort of like a Strange Town homage. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, I think, if everything works out the way I want it to. So here we are. I'm just trying to match all of the colors of this house to the gas station in the background with the dinosaur. So it is super garish, which I love. I want it really inspired by Strange Town and all of those awful greens that were there in Strange Town, and I think that it really suits Oasis Springs to be doing this kind of thing. So the 4x4 Speed Build Challenge is by James Turner, formerly known as the Sim Supply, and I wanted to do this. I've done it before, but I wanted to do it this time because I really think that the sort of Strange Town, Oasis Springs, paranoid aliens vibe suited these tiny houses. And the fun thing about tiny houses is that you have to kind of half live outside, so you get to spend a lot of time in nature because inside is so small that you just sort of have to make it work. So here I'm doing the bathroom, and you can see that I chose that avocado green that doesn't really get too much use in the game if you're trying to be a little bit classier than I was. And I end up using, I think, only base game, Strangerville, and I think I might use one object each from Get Together and Laundry Day. So one of my plans for this neighborhood is that I am going to make a laundromat. So I put the things on this lot so that it would accumulate laundry, but nothing to actually wash it. So obviously you could get a wash tub for this lot if you wanted to do that. I feel like most regular Sims, unless they were actually trying to be off the grid, wouldn't use the wash tub because they don't feel like doing all of that scrubbing, or at least I wouldn't. So that's why I am going to put in a laundromat. And I think that that's sort of an underutilized idea. Like, you don't really see a lot of places, a lot of sim saves with laundromats, and I am really excited to be doing that soon. I think it's going to be in this same sub-neighborhood, the Bedrock Straits in Oasis Springs, but I'm not entirely certain. We'll have to see. I was thinking about using the military bunk, but since I'm not sure if it's going to be a scientist or a military individual that lives here, I didn't want to necessarily use that bunk. And also, it has this fake trunk at the end of it, but I wanted to use a real storage trunk for the Sims because because of the small space, I wanted to have that sort of extra utilization so that you can actually place things in these trunks. I'm not sure if everyone knew that. It is really cool. So you will be able to place any collectibles you find or anything like that. I toyed around a few times with whether I wanted to put scientist equipment already on this slot, and I think I decided no, since you'll get it free, I believe, as part of the scientist career. But my current feeling is that I want a scientist to live here, hopefully somebody that will get abducted by aliens, and then maybe they'll have to make a basement for this lot, and their alien child will have to live as a secret in the basement until the secret becomes exposed to the whole neighborhood and we just have aliens running amok for generations. But I'm thinking that this first generation in the rotation would be like all people that were trying to keep the aliens a secret. That would just be so fun, and then you would have that added level of gameplay where you're trying to just keep this giant secret from everyone and keep them from finding out. And I think that would be fun. I had a terrible time with the windows, like such a hard time, and I realized it would have been easier if I had looked from the inside and done it that way, but just trying to place them from the outside, it was hard to tell what was blocking them and what exactly was in the way. I end up having to change the configuration several times. That telescope is, I believe, by Joni Simmer, and it is a conversion from, I believe, from The Sims 2. It certainly looks like The Sims 2 telescope, and I like to add that one to my lots because not only does it have pretty good animations on it, but also the giant observatory is just too big. It is so hard to fit that in a decent way on lots. I think I could manage to fit it on this particular lot, and I might eventually end up doing that if the scientist becomes a little wealthier, but the little telescope will do for now. I am not entirely certain if Sims can get abducted from it because, well, they don't really get abducted the same way in The Sims 4 as they do in The Sims 2 anyway, because they wouldn't be abducted from the observatory. They would have to walk out of the observatory and be abducted, so I think that you can get abducted from this mini telescope because of that, but I've never had it happen, not yet. But maybe the scientist Sim that lives here will. Oh, I'm so excited to play that, but first we have a lot of building to do because this is the first lot that I'm doing on the save. I am adding a bunch of window boxes with flowers because I could not resist adding flowers, even though I'm not entirely certain if the Sim that lives here would have them. The house just looks so bare without them. Who wouldn't want gorgeous flowers everywhere? Like, who? Maybe eventually this Sim will, because they're too busy and they have such a high-tech scientist life, they end up getting a gardener instead. That could be interesting. I don't often use the service Sims in The Sims 4 because it seems like they're not really needed, because it's easy enough to keep track of your own house. The one time I think that I've gotten it and it's been useful is when I had an extremely large family, and I will usually play with the filthy lot tray on as well, so it was getting hard to keep up on everything, which was good because I finally had a reason to use the service Sims, and I almost never do. And I really want to be able to use them. I want to have an excuse to use them, whereas like in The Sims 2 you had to use them because it was too hard to keep up with everything otherwise. Like, do you remember all of those weeds that would go all over your garden everywhere? It was intense, and you had to have a gardener to take care of it. I am going to end my Sims 2 rant now, but in short, I love The Sims 2. I do love The Sims 4. I have it set exactly how I want to be able to play it, and it works out for me in the best way, but I miss a lot of the things from The Sims 2, especially since I watch Pleasant Sims a lot, and I see what she does, and she does such a great job, and I would love to do that. I just don't have my Sims 2 know-how quite up to speed yet, but maybe I'll get there eventually if I ever have time to play it. I am choosing trees here. Now, when I do landscaping in The Sims 4, I match the trees and the foliage and everything to the surrounding area. So I used the palm trees because we're in this desert environment. I matched that. Is it a hawthorn tree or a mesquite tree in the background? I tried to match it to the one that was just next to it. I'm not sure if it's quite the same tree or not. Because it didn't have the same color swatch, but I think it's close enough. And I used a lot of the oopsie-daisies that were used in the Maxis builds in this area, as well as cactuses and agave. And I think it turned out pretty good by the end. I don't like that big swath of unlandscaped area along the pathway, but people don't have every single inch of their lawn covered with plants, so I think it's fine. I really love the outdoor seating area on this lot because it's just in the sun, and in your tiny house you'll go out and you will have like your dinner parties and stuff in this area. Oh yeah, and I'm placing vibey lights now, and yes, I'm just going to call them vibey lights. I go through couple of different configurations of how I want them, and I love the way that it looks to have this outdoor area with all of these lights all over and all of the cacti and the bathtub full of cacti and some lounge chairs. And it's just, I think that it will be fun to play in. The actual house is, I'm thinking that it's going to be a little bit hard to play in because it's so small. And depending on how your camera is angled, the cabinets cover some of your view. So if I play this lot, I think I will play it from the back facing the road, which is not a configuration I normally do, but I think that playing with that configuration will get you the best visibility inside the house. So I think that will work, and nothing will really be in your way there. So here, I'm just realizing now that I forgot to add a grill, which is probably fine because for some reason Sims highly prioritize using the grill over everything else. But I might add a grill in the future while I'm playing it because that would just add to that sort of outdoor vibey area. And I think that would be fun. I was trying, I think, to decide how I wanted to do this outdoor area, and once I found this weird space helmet kind of awning, I realized that had to be there somehow. I go through a couple of different color variations because I'm trying to mimic the gas station in the background with the dinosaur, but it's hard to put together yellow, blue, green, and red all on one tiny build. And I was having trouble deciding exactly how I wanted it to go. I think it ended up okay in the end, but I'm still tempted to change it. Yes, and here I switched that edging around the platform roof to white so that it would stand out a little better, and I think it makes it look a little bit more finished. And this is just going to be the final touches from this point, but I do the final touches for quite some time because I'm just like, oh, I need a rug. Oh, I need some curtains. Oh, guess what? More lights. Oh, outdoor lighting. More seating. And I was just being very finicky. I do like that I had a chance to use that horrible color of the Strangerville rug because it's just this avocado 70s green. And it's in this build. It looks great. Suits it perfectly. And I think that I like how everything turned out. The one thing that does bug me is the way that I would have to play it from the back, but what are you going to do when you have a build this small? You're just going to do what you can, right? And here, I was adding in a bunch of the Strangerville decor because, and I was trying to see whether the air conditioner would sit in the window like I really wanted it to, but it just looked weird and like it blocked the window. So I feel like it should sit in the window though. Like that particular kind of air conditioner is supposed to be in the window, right? I'm not wrong here. And here I added a feature wall to bring the yellow to the inside. The kitchen is now red and you have the green everywhere. I think, I end up switching the outside to yellow as well. And what I'm tempted to do is switch it back to green, but that's a decision for another day because I ended it and it should be fine, right? It should be fine. I couldn't fit a dresser in here, which I was a little disappointed about, but I'm just going to imagine that the trunk at the end of the bed will fit the clothes. Just use your imagination, some leeway, it's fine. I was trying to jam pack as many activities as possible on this lot. So I have the corkboard for postcards. I added in all of these planter pots. There's the laundry, the clothesline, which I think just suits this whole sort of eclectic vibe very well. And there's the laundry hamper. I eventually end up adding in a camera as well, just to sit on the counter and go in your Sims inventory as soon as they move in. The camera, I like adding cameras to all of my Sims houses, and I guess that is that Moschino stuff too? I'm not sure, but I like adding it to all of the Sims' lives because I think that having photographs of their different life stages is just so cute. Like, it's just so nice. And I have in my Not So Berry save that I play on my own just this entire photo wall of all of the heirs and their, in the Mint household, all of the children throughout her life and their different life stages and parties and events that she had with her friends. And it's just the cutest thing. And that household was so fun to play because I really got her into every season, into her family life, and it's just so fun to play in a way like that that really celebrates every moment of life versus trying your hardest to just push your sim towards a promotion or a marriage or whatever. Just enjoy every part of their lives. And that's my advice for the day for both the Sims and your own lives. Just enjoy every part of it, even the little stuff. And I was realizing that it was way too bare, which is why I added that the creeping vines with the flowers from Get Together. I just can't not have flowers all over houses. Sometimes I can manage, but not all the time. And the reason I kept going back and forth in this one particular swatch, one particular wallpaper, was because I realized that it was different for all of the different colors. Like some of them, it just looked like almost fabric, and the others it looked like wood paneling, and it was very strange. I still can't comprehend why some of it was different texture than others, but okay, with Sims Team, you go. I think that I'm very close to the end right now, and I am excited about that. Yep, I just popped in a sim to do a quick tour. So this is the final looks of the builds. Getting all of my pop-ups for mods as we do it, but I really did like making this. I hope that you liked watching it and that it was enjoyable for you to see this 4x4 speed build. Hopefully you enjoy how awful it is decorated and atrocious colors galore. And you can see here that everything is functional as well as tiny. So I will look forward to seeing, hearing, talking to you next week on hopefully Friday, but maybe Saturday. I'm not doing too great with the Friday posts. And please, please, please comment, like, subscribe if you liked watching this video and hearing all of my ridiculous commentary about The Sims 2 and 4. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day. Bye!